Jams, jams, jams. Picture books and jams. Welcome, everybody, to PBJamz. Music and picture books. What a perfect sandwich. Squish them all together. What a yummy snack.
Here we go. Good morning or afternoon, whenever it is you're joining us for this episode of PBJamz. We are excited to have you here. And we are talking farming and planting and growing today with Kalee Gwarjanski, the author of Miss McDonald Has a Farm. And so we are just right at the tail end of women's history. So we're talking women power, girl power this week. And so thank you, Kalee, for being here with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's such a fun book. And I love the takeoff on something that's very familiar to all of us. So talk to us first off about the inspiration for this book and how it came about.
So my children and I would go to a farm to pick up our CSA, to pick up our vegetables. And it was a lady farmer, Farmer Marcy. And we could sometimes pick our own peas, and we'd, pick out our cucumbers, whatever it was that week. And with that experience, and then, my children were preschool at the time, I was singing Old MacDonald Has a Farm, and that's all about animals. And these things just didn't line up. And I was like, more of the farms that we visit look more like a vegetable farm with maybe a few livestock, but certainly not the variety in the original song. Right. And I was like, this could be a thing. And then I just kind of started riffing with my kids about it, and ended up with She Loves Things That Grow and EIEI Grow, and then it pretty much wrote itself.
Yeah. So fun. Such a fun take on that. I love the fact that it's plants and you're right. I mean, most of the farms that kids encounter are more plant-based than animal-based. And exactly. In fact, my family owns a farm and it's exactly that. I mean, we have dogs and cats and chickens, but everything else is plants, So yeah, fabulous. And I love Farmer Marcy. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So how about the publishing process or the writing, if there's anything further you want to say about the writing process, but also about the acquisitions process and the actual publishing process. What would you like to share with us about that?
I have a unique path to publication. And it was all thanks to Twitter. I submitted to PB Chat, and an editor. So this was in 2019. I think I submitted it for the first time, or posted about it on PB Chat for the first time, along with other manuscripts. And I had an editor, like a couple. Ultimately, she rejected them. And then that might have even been 2018, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think it was 2018. Okay, so then we get to 2019, and I hadn't changed a single thing, but I was like, I gotta at least play the game, even though I don't have new posts. I copy and pasted my old ones, and had shelved this manuscript at this point. And the editor messaged me and was like, have I seen this? And I was like, yeah, you rejected it. Here's what you said. If your list has changed or if you have an idea for edits, I'm, would love to hear it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you've already said no to this. And she was like, well, send it to me again. So I sent it to her again. And this was Frances Gilbert, who ended up purchasing it, or acquiring it. And she replied, it felt like instantly, back to me, and was like, I don't know what I was thinking. I found all the stuff that I love about it, and this is just perfect. And can I have it exclusive? And I want this right now. And I was like, okay. So so I said yes. I wasn't even querying this book at the time. I wasn't agented. So 2 weeks became 2 months because it's publishing. It was summer, but ultimately they ended up offering me a contract, which then I was able to use to nudge some agents, and I was able to get an agent to help me with that contract and getting the date, getting it signed and everything. Originally, they thought they projected it would come out summer 2023, but then we found Elizabeth Vukovic as the illustrator, and Francis was like, we need her, but we have to wait for her. And I'm like, okay. Waiting is so hard, but it was so worth the wait. And I love having spring, March, everything turned out perfect. It's just trust the professionals. They know what they're doing. So it's been about 6 years since I wrote it to today.
It's amazing how long these things take,
Yeah.
It's I often say publishing is a hurry up and wait profession for sure. Like, you have to work and do it now, and here's the deadline and but then it's a long wait before the next thing for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I love that path to public. I was reading on your Twitter account actually earlier today, and I was like, oh, that is such a great story. And I think everybody's path to publication is unique on some level, but I love it when there's stories like that where it's like, no, you rejected it. Well, I want it now. That's just fabulous.
So it's all about timing, really. I think is the lesson learned is it can be a great manuscript and it's just not time yet.
Yeah. All the stars have to align. Everything has to work out. It has to be the right story at the right time to the right person. And I've been talking about it. It's kind of like a finding the perfect marriage partner, right? Like, I mean, like all the stars have to align, and that's a rare thing. And I think we see it so often that we tend to take that for granted and all the people around us. But when it happens to us, we're like, oh, I get it. Like everything has to be just right. Yeah. Yeah. That's wonderful. So you've already alluded a little bit to the musical connections, but let's dig into that a little deeper, and maybe talk too about how is that going with school visits or when you're doing it for story time with kids. Are you working in the song? Are you singing along? How's that going, and how do you perceive the musical connections?
I worked very hard that it can be sung. We worked really hard to make sure that the stresses fell in the right place and we kept the meter. And so it is an option to sing it. Am I singing it at public story time? Not yet. Maybe I'll work my way up to that. I sing it to my children.
Of course
and
you
they sing
do.
it back. And it's super fun. But I have to read it slowly though. Sometimes I start singing it.
Right.
I'm at the library. But I think it's super fun. And I've had so many people, text me or message me being like, my kids just keep walking around singing E-I-E-I grow. And that is just the best. I think just those little, earworms get stuck in kids' minds and really makes them want to read the book over and over again.
Yes, and it'll help them remember them too. And something that they're already familiar with, the E-I-E-I-O, but we're going to flip it just enough, so you're super familiar with E-I-E-I-O, but now we're making it E-I-E-I grow, which I think was just so smart and fabulous on your part, like super, super bright and very
I think for kids can then take that, what else could it be? It could be E-I-E-I go. E-I-E-I throw, all kinds of things, and just kind of a leaping off point of them to make up their own songs.
Yes. I love that. And I was thinking, so here's an idea for a sequel. I'm gonna give this one to you for free. But when you said E-I-E-I go, I'm thinking, oh yeah, like tractors and combines. And I mean, that would be a whole nother, little farming manuscript that would follow the same, pattern.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be fun.
There's one out there that
Oh, is there?
I can't remember if the refrain is E-I-E-I go, but there is a Old MacDonald had a truck, I think. That's
Okay.
about, yeah, but it's
Things
fun.
that go. Yeah, that
Things
is
that
fun.
go, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so the rhyming is always fun for kids. I know editors don't love it, but well, they love it if it's done well. It's just hard to find it done well.
Mhm.
Yeah, but kids love it. They love those little refrains, and a book that they can sing is always just a fun. I think it's easier, like as a reading teacher. Well, I'm a music teacher now, but I was a reading teacher. I think those things make it easier for kids to pick up and then be able to read it for themselves. And a lot of our books, they memorize first before, like they have it in their head, and then they go back and they can start putting the phonics along with it, and then they can start actually reading it, but they start out knowing it, from hearing
Mm.
it. Yeah. So that's a definite positive and plus. It'll be interesting to see, like I bet, I know it's still really out new right now, but I bet after a while you're going to see teachers posting little sing-alongs, and I can see so many things that they could use. I know, wouldn't that be awesome?
That would
That
be so
would be
cool.
so good. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. So obviously this is your debut book, your very
Mhm.
first. So, can you talk to us about what kind of things are coming? Anything that you want to let us know about upcoming events or books that are in the pipeline, or anything that you have going on that you want to share? Now is your time.
Okay. Things in the pipeline are in the pipeline.
And we can't talk about those.
So you can just pray for them. Maybe they will come. But if you, I have been booking lots of story times and other events. And if you're interested in learning more about those, my website is just my name, kaleegwarjanski.com/events, and more info there on how to, book one or attend one. And it's kind of where the news is at.
All the events, all the launches, all the fun things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Library story times have been like, those are my people. They're so fun.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're going to link up that website below. And in fact, I'm going to link up all of Kalee's info, her socials, the website, where you can buy your very own copy of Miss McDonald Has a Farm. All those things are going to be linked below, along with tons of teaching tips for teachers that want to use it in their regular classroom, or music teachers that might want to use it. As Kalee alluded to, this book is really perfect for daycare and preschool, as well as kindergarten, first grade. And I'm a big proponent, Kalee, of picture books are for everybody. And I still love a good picture book. And I think there's things to be gained from picture books for everybody. From a teaching perspective, yes, I would say, kindergarten first. Second does, at least in North Carolina. So I'm in North Carolina. Second grade in North Carolina does life cycles. And so it would still be very appropriate, I think, for second grade. I don't know if they're doing plant life cycles now. That may be down into first grade, which again would be really perfect. So all that'll be there for kindergarten, first grade, daycare, preschool. If you're a homeschool teacher like Kalee is, then those tips will be just as applicable for you, as well as families that just want to use it for fun. Or if you want to do your own story time with it, there'll be lots of great ideas. I always include a YouTube playlist and a Pinterest board full of fun ideas and ways you can use it as well. And there'll be some writing prompts. Kalee's going to share some author tips for you, just a few of those down below. So all that'll be linked up. So make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you check out all those links on the blog itself. The link will be in the YouTube description. And I just want to remind you, especially since Kalee is a debut author, that there are so many great ways to support authors that don't cost anything. You can request their book from your local library, your school library, or your public library. You can request it in your local bookstores as well. Ask them to carry it. You can do reviews on Goodreads, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. Those are amazingly helpful for authors, especially the ones on Amazon, because it really helps bump them up so that that book can then be recommended for people that are buying similar books. They have to have 50 reviews in order to do that. So leave those reviews. And you know what? Word of mouth is always the very best advertising, right? So if you read this book, and I think you should, and I think you're going to love it if you do. So if you read it and if you love it, then share it with somebody else that you think will love it. Your local farmer, it would be a great gift for them. It would be a great gift for their kids, just so many ways. So share it with somebody that you think would also enjoy it. Those are just some of the ways that you can support authors, even without buying the book. However, you want to buy the book. It's a perfect gift book to give for new parents. It's a perfect gift for every little tiny farmer that's coming into the world. And all kids love digging in the dirt and playing and growing things. They naturally love that. So capitalize on that and share it with somebody that you think would love it. Purchase it as a gift or purchase it just for yourself. So check out all the links and find out all the ways that you can support Kalee. If you're close enough, then please go visit her at one of her events, and probably she'll be spreading those out further and further. So that'll increase your chances to catch her live and meet her. She is a lovely person, as you can tell. So, and she has 4 children. She has a very full hands. She has a lot going on. She loves to cook and grow things and do all the domestic homesteading things, as well as raising her 4 children and homeschooling them. So she is one busy lady, but if you get a chance, you go and visit her at one of her events. And thank you, Kalee, for being here today.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. This has been super great. Thank you, everybody who watched.
It's always fun to chat books and music and, picture books and jams. They go together like peanut butter and jelly, and that's why we're here. So we will catch you next time on PBJamz.
PBJamz.